Good morning, my beautiful friends. I literally downloaded this episode in my mind's eye, in my soul, not onto my computer when I woke up this morning. So it's super early. It's why I've got the light on in here. It's super early. And I thought to myself, I don't know if I thought it to myself, but I had this thought anyway, I had to share that people need to understand the spiritual woo, how it can. I throw that term around. I throw that term around loosely, but how much it can help people when they understand their spiritual side, when they connect with their spiritual side. Because I think people are open to it. Some are very closed off, and that's okay too. But I think people are maybe a little bit afraid of it, or maybe know they need to connect more spiritually but don't know how to do it, or they know that there's something more out there but they're just unsure what it is, how it works, what to do. And we all have different beliefs, and that I think is really, really important, that we maintain our own beliefs, but also having an open mind, right? Having a mind that is open to everything and closed to nothing, as Wayne Dyer says. And so I just got this message come through this morning, like, how can the spiritual womb help people, share with them how it can actually impact their life in a positive way, and how it can really teach them how to trust in themselves and gain more confidence and gain more empowerment and attract what they want. Because I mean, that's the goal, right? Like, we're living in this human experience to have our best human experience. And yes, things happen that are not pleasant. Things we all go through, things in our life that are challenges, that are hurdles, obstacles that we overcome. But how, again, the spiritual woo can help you work and navigate your life through those times, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so that's what come to me. It literally just came to me like 15 minutes ago. And I have notes this morning. I don't always, sometimes I have notes, sometimes I often don't. But I wrote notes down because it was like this download was coming through so quickly, and I quickly jotted like headings down, points down to talk about. And it helps keep me on track, because otherwise I could talk about this for hours, right? So it's going to help keep me on track. But what I have found is, if I go back and give you a tiny little bit of background, now I'm not going to give you all the background, because if you go back to my earlier episodes, I dive into them a little bit deeper anyway, and how this kind of spiritual journey unfolded for me. But to give you, I guess, a short version. So I have been like a personal trainer, coached with women, worked on my physical body, coached women with their physical body for years. And I've seen the power in looking after my physical vessel, and how I've helped other people do the same. Then I come to realize that I've started to do, gosh, quite a while ago now, over 15 years, I started to do like a lot of the mindset work. And I started to see how no matter how much I help coach these women in the physical, unless they did the inner work that I had done, I just got this desire. I need to share the inner work with people, because that's where it's at. Like, that's where I really saw significant change and transformation. But then I also saw, when people stop doing the inner work, how it's easy to kind of go back into old ways. And that's like everything, right? If you start working out and then you stop, and your habits with your eating, everything kind of is this ricochet domino effect. And so I did a lot of the inner mindset work, and that's what led me to go into the studio, is the inner work. Is I wanted to be in an environment where I could teach and coach and work with people doing the inner work, as well as the physical. And then about the beginning of 2023, I started to feel the need. I didn't want to work with my business coach anymore. I just got to the point where I was just like, it just wasn't really. There was some stuff I've done so much energy work that I felt what she's teaching is amazing, love her, but I want to dive deeper. I really want to understand a lot of this spiritual woo. And I put at the beginning of my vision board, the top of my vision board, return to authenticity. And in 2023, and that's when I kind of unfolded into this deep spiritual journey. At the beginning of that year, I had a few health things going on. I ended up connecting, or having this gut feeling for a little while, that I needed to get my breast implants out. I thought that even before 2023 for a couple of years, but there were so many reasons, which I dive into those episodes, why I didn't want to do it, was scared, etc. And then it led to my hair started to fall out, and I'm like, what the actual is going on here? And I just had this gut wrenching feeling it's connected to your implants, it's connected to ego, they're connected to what's happening with your hair loss. And I decided to go and get them out. And so that's what kind of started this whole journey of I had to learn to trust myself, trust my signs, trust my intuition, trust my gut feeling. And I went through a whole 2-year period where I flipped from doing so much physical work to I was just drawn to doing the spiritual work. It's like over 2-year journey where that's literally all every single day I was doing this spiritual work. I was working with spiritual coach, I was working with healers, and I really started to learn to see the power in my spiritual ability and what I was actually capable of, because I thought, like, I've unlocked psychic medium ability, like there's so much stuff that you don't know that I will share with you along the way, but that I have opened up in me that I thought was for this kind of stereotypically woo hippie type, right? Like I would think that I can't do this stuff because I need to go and see somebody for, tarot cards or angel cards or oracle cards, things like that. I need to go and see somebody for healing. I need to go and see somebody to do it for me. And then what I started to understand was, and what Kira, my spiritual coach who I've been working with, she guided me through. She goes, you can do this yourself. And I started, the more I learned, the more I uncovered, the more I was like, I'm good at this. Like, this stuff's I'm seeing things, like amazing things are happening, but what holds us back is this fear of, one, it's different and it's not how we've been brought up with our mainstream. Not most of us, 99% of people haven't been brought up this way to tap into their spiritual ability. And we get brought up with religious beliefs. So whatever I talk about, you interpret it in your own way, right? Like God, source, universe, Buddha, however you like to interpret it, however you see it, that's what's important. Okay, and I'm not steering you away from any of that. You have to honor your beliefs, but I'm just showing you the power in opening up to your beliefs and opening up into this bigger realm. And so what I started to see was I had to learn to trust myself, trust my ability, trust all the things that were happening for me, the good, the bad, the ugly, trust in all of them, and trust in my power and know that I could actually do a lot of these things myself. Yes, it's still good. I believe everybody needs to go to some kind of, throughout our whole life, we can get coached. We can go to healers, psychologists, whoever you relate to. Yes, we can get help and support and just become better by seeking, whether it's trainers, teachers, support. We can improve every area of our life by seeing somebody else. Okay, like that I will do for the rest of my life. I will read, I'll listen to podcasts, I'll listen to audios, I will work with coaches or work with people who are going to help me see something that I don't see yet, or help me see something in myself that I don't see in myself yet, and just help me live a more empowered, better, bigger, expansive, growth fulfilled life. And so I think that's very, very important. But I also understood was, you can't see these people every single day, right? Like I need to use these tools in my day-to-day life, and I need to learn to trust in myself in my day-to-day life and combine them both, and learn to trust in my wisdom, my signs, my synchronicities, my messaging, my decision-making, from the little decisions of where should I go for dinner or what do I feel I need to do, to big decisions, partners, relationships, houses, money, finance, career, for purpose, all of the bigger decisions as well. It can help guide you to make better decisions in your life and to help you align with what you're meant to do, what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled. You're not going to be happy all the time. There's always going to be ups and downs. But I think connecting with this inner side of ourselves, I know we can actually do ourselves, because I've done it, I'm doing it, I've seen other people do it, I want to help you do it. And that's what today's episode is about. So I will check in with my notes from time to time to keep me on track. But the other thing is, with understanding, I want you to really understand right from the beginning, is that it will help you align. Like when you get so aligned with yourself, it will help you course correct, align with your external world and what's happening around you, i.e. it will help you align with your desires. It'll help you manifest what you want. And I think that term's getting thrown around a lot loosely lately. But we all have the power to create. Like, we all have the power to, your mind is wise. Your mind is, like Buddha says, like what you think you become. And getting so connected with yourself helps you shift your perspective of yourself and of the world around you, which then helps you align with your desires. People, relationships, love, finance, money, all the things that I spoke about before, health, fitness, all of it. It helps you align when you know who you are and what you want. And so I think if we get back to a fundamental core value of understanding the spiritual side, or understanding yourself spiritually, is it helps you discover yourself. It helps you know who you are, what you want, like what lights you up, and really get you out of your head and into your heart. And that was the very first thing that I discovered. If I take you back before what happened in 2023, quite a few years before that, I had kind of dabbled in seeing Reiki, a couple of Reiki healers, but then I met my friend Jody. Many of you have met her in the studio, and I just had a feeling after my grandfather died, and I had a feeling to go. I just got this gut feeling, go and see Jody. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I said to her, I don't know why I'm seeing you. Like, I don't have any big issues per se, but I just have this gut feeling to go and see you. And I remember the first time two transformational things happened for me. She said to me, you are so much in your... No, I had two visits with her. One before my grandfather passed away. So there were two visits. And I remember her saying to me on the first visit, you're so in your head. Like, we need to get you out of your head and into your heart, into your body. Your head is like exploding, like it's just on fire. And it's just going a million miles an hour. And that is how most of us operate, right? We're just so in our head, and that's all we know. And she helped get me into my heart and understand the value of being in my heart. So I went on this journey of head, heart, head, heart, head, heart, like constantly flowing through the two. And we still always do that, to more heart-centered living. The more I did a lot of the tools, a lot of the rituals, a lot of the practices, the more I understood the value of living in my heart. Second time I went back to her was just after my grandfather passed away. And I remember I said to her, I don't know why I need to see you, but I need to see you. I just have this gut feeling. And she, in this particular visit that I went and saw to her, she channels, and my grandfather come through, and she spoke about how there's this, like, she goes, he's coming to you in an animal, like this, I just feel he's coming to you in an animal. And I thought to myself, it's a horse. He trained horses, and he was a well-known trotting driver. And I thought, I just pictured this Maltese, like, because he's quite a strong man. I thought there's like strong-willed, determined man. And I just pictured this Maltese stallion. And she said, no, it's a bird. And I'm like, what the hell? And that morning I had this little blue kingfisher bird land on my fence when I was hanging the washing out. And I thought, that's cute. Like, it just got my attention. And then, I won't go into all of that because I'll be here forever telling you all these stories, but this little blue kingfisher bird has lined up for me in so many profound moments in my life, with when I've been thinking of things, healing things, working through things, or just reading his book, The Power of Positive Thinking, my Upa's book, sitting down reading it. And I had a nudge, like a feeling something's behind me. And like, I turned around and I was in my back deck, and on the pool fence was this blue kingfisher bird as I'm reading his book. There's been so many coincidences. You can't make this stuff up, right? And so I started thinking, oh wow, there's something I can communicate. And then I've learned to communicate with him over the course of the years and get guidance from that. So what I've found, I've written down some like little titles, like little topics that I wanted to cover. So I think one of the bigger important things is it helps you make better decisions when you are aligned with your heart and soul, and you just have this ability to make better decisions that are aligned with you and what your heart and soul needs. Now, I have learned along the way, when I've listened to my gut and made decisions in accordance with my gut, how it's turned out. I've learned the flip side, when I've gone against my gut or against my heart and against my intuition and made decisions. I've learned from them, right? Like, I've not had this perfect journey the whole way, man. I have learned the hard lessons. Because I can be a little bit... I kept going back into my head, looking at logical thinking. Yes, we need the logic, but we need to combine it with the heart and soul and the feminine flow energy, right? And so I've seen the flip side of what happens when I go with my gut and when I go against my gut. And sometimes I've learned that, I've learned the hard way. definitely learnt things the hard way. But I've also learnt to, I've made decisions, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but this house that we bought now, I made the decision to get this house because one, it lined up for me when I wasn't looking, but I knew my vision. I knew my vision, which I've spoken to you about before: house, grass, sand, water, expansive sunrise view. And I thought what I wanted was something different. I thought what I wanted was this big fancy house in the canals, and this is an old renovator, smaller house, different project, completely different. But when I went and stood out on our jetty, an eagle flew overhead, and I'm like, that's interesting, because that's one of my signs. Then when I was talking to the real estate agent out the front, a white feather floated down beside me, and I actually said to him, all right, I need this house. Like, I've seen an eagle and a feather, and it's Riley's boss. And she's like, oh my God, Mum, did you say that to him? I'm like, yeah, I did. That's how I made my decision. I made it on my gut feeling. So I've learnt with little decision making processes along the way that when it comes to a big decision, I was guided here for a reason. And if I was to look at what I thought I wanted, it wasn't until living here that I understood the peace, the tranquility, the view, like so much. I can't even imagine going to what I thought I wanted, because this is so much better in certain elements of, for me, for peace, and for it just, my soul feels so at home here. I can't explain it, but sometimes like your soul guides you to not what you think you want, but what you actually need. So it helps you make decisions. And also on the flip side is it helps you steer you away from obstacles. It helps you get this gut feeling. Like I've said to Tom, with people that he's maybe worked with or met, I'm like, I don't trust them. Like there's just something I just can't explain. I can't put my finger on it, because your logical mind wants to explain everything and have an answer for everything. I said, but I've got this knowing. I've got an issue with trust there. And I think there's certain things going on. And it turned out that, it was right. So your intuition can steer you, and you've all had this experience, right? So it can steer you to help make decisions or steer you away from obstacles, because sometimes you have this knowing, this person's not right for me, this job's not right for me, or this situation's not right for me. But what happens? You sometimes go with it anyway because that's what you feel you have to do, or that's what logically seems to be the right thing to do, or that's where the money's coming from. And you go with this logical decision where your gut can sometimes steer you in the right direction. When you become so much more aligned, it helps you connect with that decision-making ability from a heart, soul-centered ability, as opposed to just in your head. But you need to bring them both together. So I'm checking back in with my notes, because I know I've gone off track already and gone ahead. But it also teaches you signs. It helps you, going back to what I was just saying before, I just saw one more thing. It helps you avoid mistakes, okay? So with obstacles, it can also help you avoid mistakes. It can help you financial mistakes or financial, or things that can cost you time, cost you money, cost you opportunities. It will help you avoid those mistakes. And the other thing is it helps you see things as lessons and experiences. We're all going to make mistakes, right? We're all going to have these times where you go, I wish I didn't do that, or I wish that it had have turned out a different way. But I've learned to look at things differently and go, it was a lesson. It was, it was the experience that I needed. Yes, it can be, some people would think of it as a failure. Some people would think of it as a mistake, but I look at things differently and I go, it's an actual, it's a lesson. It's an experience. This is teaching you how not to do something in the future. This is teaching you what to look for, what to avoid in the future. So you learn from it. Like, there's been big mistakes that I have made, or big things that have happened that I go, oh, well, I needed that, like that needed to happen to teach me a lesson. Like, what is the lesson in this? And I write things down all the time. What is the lesson in this? What did I need to learn? Like, it teaches you how to not sweat the small stuff. So what's happened over the years, right, is I have found the more I have learned about myself spiritually, the more I have had things happened to me, I used to beat myself up over things, and I used to think, man, you're such an idiot. How could you let that happen? Or why did this happen? What have you done wrong? And then I started to understand, hang on, there's a lesson in this for me. There's a soul growth opportunity in this for me. What did I learn? And I would like, something at the moment there's been lots of things happening at the moment. It's been one of those periods where it's been one thing after another. Like the jet ski has literally shit itself. There was something that happened with that. Brock was out on it. The supercharger went on it. Then my car has literally, there's been something big happen with my car. My engine's died. I need a new car. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then Kira got a fish hook stuck in her found some bait around the lake we were walking yesterday. She got this like fish hook stuck in her mouth, and it ended up being like a $500 walk, right? Because I had to take her to the vet. We couldn't get it out, and I had to take her to the vet. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like it's been all these things happen all at once. And every time something like this happens, I go, okay, what is the lesson in this? Yes, it's shit. Like, yes, it's cost us money. Like, yes, things have been happening. But I journaled on it, and I wrote down the other day, like, why is this happening? What is going on here? What do I need to learn from this? And then all this wisdom come through, and I wrote it down, and it flipped my perspective of maybe I needed to let go of my car, like my sister pointed out, because it's that last part of you with that old season, that old part of you to go, and you need to clear it to welcome in the new version of yourself. And I went, that's true. Like, it still sucks because it's going to cost money, but it's also pushing me. Another lesson I learned out of this is it's pushing me to do something that I know I need to do with my business that I haven't done yet. It's making that nail a little bit sharper because I've been procrastinating to push me in that direction, right? So when I flip it and I look at all the different opportunities, if I look at the different, what's the good to come out of this, I don't sit in the funk for such a long time. And I go, okay, this is what I've learned. This is how I need to move forward. And this is going to steer me in a different direction. Okay, thank you. So instead of looking at it from a fear-based, from a lack perspective, I still feel the emotions. I'm still pissed off. I'm still frustrated. I sit with that. Then I go, okay, I'm going to get myself out of this. And I work myself out of it. And I look at what is the flip side. What do I need to learn? So it helps you look at life a bit differently. And look, there has been family that I have said to the same thing, like there's an opportunity in this, there's a lesson in this, what's the experience? And sometimes your kids go, I don't want your lesson, mum. Like, I don't want to hear it. This just sucks at the moment. And I go, okay, they're not quite there yet, but I'm teaching them, right? So there's been times where I want to help my family with it, but I've got to also remember where they're at as well, which brings me on to another point of, man, I've got so many points that I want to go through. This might be a long episode, okay? So you can help your family. So something has happened recently with some, like with my parents, and something's happened that has been not a really great situation. And I've said to my dad out of this, I said, I think this is an opportunity to give you, you need a holiday, you need a break. Like, you spent your whole life working so hard. And I spoke to him about this whole situation. And, he turned around and he said to me, he said, I love that you look at things from a different perspective. And it's helped flip his whole attitude. It's helped him look at things in a different light. And it's just helped him come to a better position with stress, with mental health, with opportunity. Like, it's just awakened something in him. So you can help your family, you can help your loved ones around you. Yes, sometimes they're not going to want to always have your help and have your advice, but you've just got to remember you're the messenger, okay? You share things. Sometimes some people will want to take it on board. Sometimes people won't. I've helped my grandmother through things that she has carried since she was a teenager, that has come up because I'm at a completely different vibration and I'm a completely different energy level. I look at things so much differently. I've helped her through things that she's turned around and said to me, I love speaking to you. I can talk to you about anything. And she's had some really big shifts. She's had shivers, like she's had really big shifts. So I know it's helped heal part of her, and it can help you heal parts of yourself as well. Like, I have everything I learn, I kind of try and teach my kids. So it helps teach them generationally as well. Like, I have had Riley come to me with situations. Um, Man, she's a powerful little thing. Her and her partner, super powerful, super intuitive, super wise. She's just not there yet. Like I wasn't at 21, right? Like you weren't at 21. She's still living in this 3D reality like we all are. But as she gets older and as I help navigate her through life, she's going to be one powerful human being. Both my kids are, because I'm learning these tools. I'm teaching them. I heard Brock say the other day, he was telling me, he said to a friend, like why journaling is important and why he is going to start doing it, why he needs to listen. He goes, I'll listen to my mum because she always gets what she wants, not in an arrogant way, but in a way of, he said, like she manifests things, like she gets things. And for them, that's what they see at the moment. And that's what they go, okay, that's really cool. So it's helping steer my kids and giving them tools, giving them confidence, giving them power, helping them open them up to their own unique gifts. But they still argue with me. They still, when they'll agree with me when they want to, but when they don't, they're like, this shit doesn't work. Like, go and ask your universe. It doesn't always work. And so we have this funny, banter to and fro. But yeah, sometimes they'll listen, sometimes they won't. But I know if I live and I breathe the foundations of what I want to teach, it's not what you say, it's what you do that they pick up on. And I know they've come to me in hard situations where they have turned to some of these tools that I've taught them. And it's helped them make better decisions as well. So yes, you can help people. Even in my community, like I've had people say to me, how did you know that? Like I go, I don't know. I just trusted what come through, and that's what was coming through. So I just asked them the question, got them to reflect, and they go, yeah, actually that's what I needed to hear. And I will speak in my community. I will speak things out in class, and people will say to me, I really needed to hear that today. And that's because I ask for guidance. I ask for wisdom to help me, to help my loved ones, and to help my community and the people that I share with. So I find now when I get a voice pop in like this channel of wisdom, or you need to do a podcast episode on this, or you need to say this in class, and it's not like it says to me, you need to say this. A chunk of information will come through and I just spit it out. I used to second guess it and go, oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe it might upset people, or maybe that's not quite right. I've learned to trust myself, that I say what comes through, and people say to me all the time, like, I really need to hear that, or that really need to help. So you can help people around you when you tune into your intuition and your spiritual gifts. You can help your family, you can help your loved ones, you can help heal people by your words. Like I've learned to heal myself energetically. I've learned the tools, the rituals, the gifts to do a lot of healing for myself. And I also am learning to send that to loved ones through a lot of different modalities that I'm learning at the moment. So you can help your family. You don't sweat the small stuff. I find, like in that situation that I spoke about before with my car, I just want to raise one more point on that. Is I've learned not to sweat the small stuff. I've learned I'm not interested in arguing. I've learned that I'm just going to deal with things differently. And sometimes I have a bit of an attitude of, oh well, and that's what's happened. So be it. Like, what's the lesson? What can I learn out of that? But do you know what I forgot to mention before is it helps with your mental health. It helps with things like stress, anxiety, overwhelm, fatigue, burnout, because you're not sweating the small stuff all the time. You're learning to process things a little bit differently. And yoga helps you with that. So what I want to touch on with yoga is that was one of the first physical modalities that helps connect you with your body. So it really keeps you mindful. It teaches you your body's wisdom, and your body's wisdom is probably one of the first ways that helps you connect more spiritually. And so yoga is a very, very powerful way to help you connect and also help you process, like meditation, help you process things that are going on, and it helps you become so much more connected, and it helps you learn the wisdom in your body. So it teaches you, like, if not just with yoga, but with yoga, with meditation, with all the spiritual practices that I'm going to talk about, it teaches you to learn to trust in your body's innate wisdom. So your body is one of the first ways I think people learn to trust in that, in their spiritual side. And it helps you to, just like for instance, that the breast implant issue that I went through, I listened to my body's wisdom, but first I ignored it. And then what happened is I started to see signs and I started to pay attention to the signs. And it was a really hard journey. But then when I made the decision, I need to go and see a breast surgeon, all the signs lined up for me to go and see this surgeon. The time I was arriving at his practice was like 11:11. He had a cancellation come up. His kid's birthday was the same of mine. There was something else I can't remember, but I followed those signs. That's right. He worked with the original surgeon. He studied under the original surgeon. So once I had to learn a few hard lessons to make that decision, I trusted the signs that lined up to go and see this particular surgeon. He was amazing. And I just knew I didn't need to go and shop around with 6 other surgeons. He was my guy. So I've learned to trust the signs, that some things line up for me easily and effortlessly. Some things are challenges that you have to overcome, but I've learned to trust myself, trust in my signs, trust in the alignment and the timing of things, and go with it. The other thing that happens when you become a lot more spiritually connected is you see the world in a different perspective. You start to step more out of the ego realm of comparing yourself, competing, keeping up with people, having to have all the right stuff, and there's nothing wrong with stuff. Like, I love stuff, like everybody does, but it's taught me it's taken me on this journey from ego to soul, and it has taught me the beauty in the world all around me. It's taught me the beauty in connecting with nature and how nature can give me signs, how nature can give me signals. And it's shown me a whole flip side of another part of the world. I see things differently. I see the beauty in the world. I see the beauty in people. I see things with more love, with more acceptance. And I see that in myself as well as other people. I'm not as hard on myself as I was. I've learned to love on myself a lot more. I've learned to accept myself a lot more. Then what happens is you align with the right people. You align with the right jobs, the right opportunities. It helps. It might happen that you lose some people along the way, and you learn, instead of pining over them, instead of going, what did I do wrong? You start to accept that, okay, maybe they didn't align with me anymore. Season, reason, lifetime, okay? Like, you learn to accept things, and you learn that there's a bigger divine plan that will guide you along the way. There are people that are meant to be in your lifetime forever, but there are people that aren't. It lines you up with the right relationships. When you get right in yourself and you love yourself, you accept yourself, you feel empowered in yourself, it lines you up with the right people who are meant to be in your life, people who are meant to love you the way you deserve to be loved, and you need to love on yourself first. So it aligns you up with the right people, the right friends, the right work environment. You see the world from that different perspective. So you see people from a different perspective, and you see yourself from a different perspective, because you start to see yourself through the eyes of love, the eyes of God, the eyes of source, as opposed to what the ego realm really shines a light on, which is comparison, keeping up, fitting in, judgment, what's going wrong, fear. It all comes from fear. You flip from a fear-based reality to more of a love-based reality, which is one of the most powerful gifts that you can actually give yourself, because you start to accept yourself as this beautiful, unique human being that you are, and your soul purpose, your gifts, your uniqueness, your quirks, and you start to accept other people. So you see the world with the eyes of more love and more gratitude and more peace. You know yourself better. You trust yourself better. You have a more peaceful way of life. You have a more peaceful way of living when you get back into that acceptance of yourself and living in a more beautiful, peaceful world. You have a peaceful state. So you have less stress, less anxiety, less health problems, because you're trusting, you're going with flow instead of going against everything all of the time. You have more compassion for yourself and for others. And it just helps get rid of this unnecessary stress and sweating the small stuff, right? So one of the deep things too that I want to touch on is it really helps you. For me, it has opened up. I've started with the little things, okay? And then like the little steps that I have learnt, like the little spiritual tools. And it has opened me up into something really, really huge where I have learnt this. This is pretty deep, but I have learnt to trust into to open my psychic medium ability. Okay, everybody has this psychic medium ability within us. I do, you do, people around you do, but we live in a masculine dominated society of doing, like all the things I spoke about before, having to keep up, having to do lists, rushing here, there, living in your head. It blocks it. When you get more into your heart and soul, it opens you up into this whole other realm of learning to trust your spirit and learning to know that, hang on a sec, I have got this like psychic ability. I can know things. And you will have these little things that you know. You'll be thinking of something, someone. You'll get a text message from them, little things like that. You know, you'll want to attract a car park. It'll open up. But what if you could open yourself up into a bigger, deeper realm of psychic ability that can help steer you on the course correct your life? I have, like, through working with Kira, it has really opened me up to this mediumship ability as well. She put me on the spot. I've read for her, like I have had people come through for her that she gave me that validation that I can do it, so that when things have come through for myself, through talking to my grandfather or people around me that I've lost, or even connecting with people that are alive, right? Like, it's some trippy things have happened, but it's taught me to trust myself that this is not bullshit. Like, I'm not making this up, because I used to think, oh, that's just a coincidence, right? Or, oh yeah, and this can happen or that can happen. Anyone can do that. But the deeper I go, there are things that happen that I cannot explain, that I just know things that I can't explain, or I've had this knowing, or I've had this feeling, and things have unfolded. I'll give you an example. This sounds a bit morbid, but this is just what happened, right? I was at one of my cousin's baby showers, who had tried for a long time to fall pregnant on IVF. Finally happened right at the end of her pregnancy. And at a baby shower, this vision, it just happened so quickly. I just had this feeling of, this baby's not going to, I just had this picture of a past baby. I can't explain it. I don't even want to talk about it. And I just had this come through, and I thought to myself, get that out of your head. Like, what the hell? And I'm like, no, like trying to flip it, think of all the good things. But it just happened so quickly. I had this vision of what happened. And she passed, she lost her baby. Oh, it breaks my heart, right at the end of her pregnancy, right? And I had this feeling, and I had this it happened so quickly. And right at the end, she had to give birth to, like right at the end, a stillborn that they'd had taken a long time to conceive. And then what happened is, I didn't tell anybody that, because I thought, this is bad, right? I'm not telling anybody that. And then it happened, and I spoke to Kira about it, and she's fallen pregnant again, and I don't get that feeling. Like, I just feel like everything is. And I told her just recently, she said to me, she brought it up first, right? She said, I had a feeling that she goes, I feel different in this pregnancy compared to my last pregnancy. Like, this is just, I feel so different. And I said to her, I told her about what happened. And I said, this is really hard for me to tell you, but I'm only telling you because you brought it up. And I'm telling you because I want you to go through the rest of this pregnancy knowing that everything's okay. I get this feeling like everything is so fine. Like, I just see this beautiful, perfect baby. Like, everything is fine. I don't want you to stress and base your past experience of how your past pregnancy went with this one, because I just know this is different, right? And like, it was really nice. Like, I had this deep conversation with her, and she said, thank you for sharing that with me, because it helped highlight in her feelings of what she had, and just gave her the faith that moving forward, everything's going to be okay. Like, it'll be fine. And I had another instance where, and when that happened, you know, like I questioned myself, like, this is just fear coming in, but it just felt different, right? And then recently I was talking to a neighbor, and he, I was just talking to him this one particular day, and I just had this gut feeling. He was an older neighbor, and his birthday was in December, and I had this gut feeling. It was like I was talking to him and I saw him differently. And for some reason, I just saw him differently. I was seeing his teeth and just thinking, your body's done. Like, I couldn't explain it. And I was like, you're not going to make he had a big birthday coming up, his 80th. And I just had this gut feeling that, and I obviously didn't tell him, but it come through, and I went, just this quick voice come through, you're not going to make your 80th birthday. And I got a message that next day. He died that night. And I spoke to him for ages, had this beautiful conversation. He was out on his ride-on mower that day, so it's not like anything was wrong, but I just had this gut feeling and this intuitive thought that come through that you're not going to make your 80th birthday. And I got that message the next day that he passed in his sleep that night. And so the reason I'm telling you this is I'm not telling you the morbid stuff, right? But I've learned to trust in myself, and I've learned to trust in that psychic medium ability. There's things that I've predicted that have come about. There's, good things, bad things that have come about. And I'm still juggling with learning for, is this coming from fear or is this coming from a knowing? So I'm still kind of learning these things as well. But I'm learning to trust there is a bigger realm out there than me. I'm learning to trust that it guides me, it steers me, it helps give me direction, it helps make my life, I guess by making decisions, it helps make better decisions. It helps me understand that there is more to life than just this physical body. There is more to life than this reality that we're living in, this 3D reality of stuff, of getting in our head all the time, stress, anxiety. When you learn to trust in yourself, you can have more of a peaceful existence. You can help overcome some of these obstacles that you are working through, that people are working through on a day-to-day basis, the anxiety, the stress, the fear, the mental issues. It can really help take you out of that and into more of a soul-based living. It doesn't happen overnight, guys. It takes work. It takes showing up for yourself, but it really helps you to have a more empowered life. It helps you trust in your visions. I get visions through meditation where I've been able to heal past life things that I experience now that have been a past life. And I used to say to Kira, man, I'm having this trippy vision in my meditation of being burnt at the stake in this one particular meditation journey I went through. And I said to her, but my boobs are on fire in this. What is going on? I feel and it was this representation of I had to shed parts of my ego. There have been past life things that have come up for me in my meditation and these journeys that have been playing out for me in this lifetime that I've worked through, healing myself through, because I trust in myself now. The old me 5 years ago, or you might be sitting here now going, holy hell, that's way too far outside of my realm. It was way too far outside of my realm too. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I thought I needed to go and see people for that. But I made the decision to open myself up more spiritually so I could channel, I could help myself, I could help my family, I could help my community. And I know that part of this is my purpose, and part of this is what I'm meant to do, is to help awaken that in you too, and give you the trust in yourself that you can do these things, that you can open yourself up to more of a heart-based living, more of a soul-based living. I'm not special. I'm not doing anything. I used to think I had to go to people and there were special people that could do this stuff. Yes, there are, but they have learnt to tune into it at a younger age, or they've done the work to get there, or some of them are just born with this that they just trust, or they've been in a family that has brought this out in them as well, or they've been in a family that has been the complete flip side, the complete opposite, that has steered them into this direction. So we all have this ability to tune more in spiritually. We all have this ability to tune more into our intuition, to this psychic medium ability, to trust in our visions, to trust in our desires. But we need to get out of our head, you guys. We need to get more out of our head and more into our heart, and more into doing these rituals, lining up with people. Kira has taught me so much. This spiritual coach has taught me so much. And she works with healers predominantly. Her goal is to work with healers, is opening these healing gifts. And she said that's why we aligned. And she come to a retreat with me on Bali. And she said, there's not many people I trust. But she said, Lisa, I trust you. And I know you have these abilities. And she's taught me to trust these in myself. And what I have really felt a calling to do is to teach you a lot of the the foundational work. And I have this program that I'm working on at the moment that I know why this is, my car has died, like all these things have happened. It's like pushing me, get your program out there, get it out there, because people need it. People need you to help awaken them. And I've had visions where I've had like this whole sea of people where it's like I'm flicking on light switches in all of you, in other people, and help awakening you to more of a light-based living, help awaken you to lighten this spark, awaken this light in yourself. And that is part of my purpose. That is part of my mission, but I'm also doing all the personal training, all the vessel work, the physical vessel work. I want to teach you both the power in merging the physical, the earth angel, right? Working and merging the physical vessel, that earth part of yourself, with that angelic spiritual part of yourself, and bringing it together to open your gifts, to open you to this beautiful way of living and more of a peaceful way of living, but learning to trust in yourself, learning to lead more of a fulfilling life, but looking after your human vessel. Because what's the point if your body is not working? What's the point, if you're not taking care of your physical self as well, because you're riddled with stress, you're riddled with anxiety, you don't have time to take care of yourself, you're not nourishing yourself, you need both. And that is what my 8-week program that I'm putting together, which I know I need to get out ASAP, my coaching program, is going to really teach you a lot of this foundational stuff and awaken this in you. So have I got... I've been speaking for ages, like 45 minutes, and man, I got to go to work. I've got a class. I'm like, damn this episode for coming through right now on the Wednesday where I have a really busy morning and have to get to class. But I think I've covered everything, and I really hope that I have helped you to understand why the woo stuff can help you, how it can help you live more of a fulfilled life. But also I wrote down, when you get aligned with yourself, you get aligned and you attract your desires and you attract what you're meant to do in this lifetime, my friends. So that is what I want to help light up in you, what I want to help you find in yourself. And come with me to Bali, work with me, come into the studio. If it's not me, other people that are around you that can help awaken these gifts in you, because there are so many people that have beautiful gifts to offer the world. And I know you have beautiful gifts that you have to offer the world, offer your loved ones, but also help live your most aligned experience. Sending you so much light and love, angels. And I can't wait to see you in the next episode, and have a beautiful day, my friends. Mwah.